Hello, good morning and welcome to day 3 of the Issf Junior World Cup. We have another day of competition here in New Delhi. We're back indoors with the back wall open because we're here for the 50-metre 3 positions final. Both of them today. First of all, the turn of the women junior. First of all, 8 superb athletes line up for this one. You can see the win flags just fluttering slightly, not only nearest our cameras, but just a little bit of movement in the distance as well to those targets 50 metres away down the other end. So India, 3 athletes representing the home nation in this one. Croatia also represented, as are Slovakia, and we have 3 individual neutral athletes. Here come the coaches. So thank you very much for joining us. Here's our schedule for today. Live in a few moments, the 50-metre rifle, 3 positions, women juniors final. And then at 2 p.m. local time here in New Delhi, the 50-metre rifle, 3 positions, men junior. So the distance is 50 metres. The weight of the rifles, anything up to 8 kilos. The 10 ring, some 50 metres away, 10.4 millimetres. So there'll be 45 shots, unless we do go to a shoot-off. Shoot-offs have been few and far between so far. Here's how it finished in qualification earlier on today. So Anushka Tukor finishing up top at 5.85, and then Kruglova on 5.82. 2 athletes tied on 5.80. The rest under 5.80, and then Anna Maria Turk of Croatia just creeping in to the qualification. So the range is just about ready. All the tests have been done. The athletes have been out to not only lay out their equipment boxes that you can see nearest your screen in those blue boxes near to the prone mats, but also their rifles ready in the position that they'd like them. So Viran Bhatt, our Chief Range Officer from India, has called the athletes to the line.
On firing point H, representing AIN, Anastasia Gorokova.
So in reverse order, being introduced first on firing point H, Anastasia Gorokova, 20 years old. And we'll give more on the athletes' achievements as we enter the final and go into the first of the 3 kneeling 5-shot series. So Kamila Novotná is next, 20 years old, representing Slovakia. Now Anushka Tukor has already taken a gold medal here. That was before our first day of competition. She took that gold in the 50-metre prone, and it has been counted in the medal table. Anushka now 18 years old and a current Asian champion in 3 positions for women junior. And Anastasia Sorokina, 18 years old, has competed at European Championships earlier this year in Châteauroux. That was in the 50-metre prone and in the 3 positions. So Mahit Sandhu, second athlete from India, is next, 21 years old. Has competed at World Championships. That was in Changwon a few years ago, and also at Junior World Cups earlier this year in Seoul, and in the Asian Championships in 2025. Maria Kruglova is next, She is the youngest in this final at 16 years old, has competed at Junior World Cups and European Championships before. And she's in her first final today. And 20-year-old Anna Maria Tork of Croatia is next. She was 4th in the European Championship 10-metre final earlier this year. I remember being commentator that day. Has made another final here in a Junior World Cup, so perhaps a medal today, who knows. And the third athlete from the home nation of India, 17-year-old Prachi Gaikwad. It's her first Junior World Cup final. She's also a silver medalist at the Asian Championships in the 50-metre prone women junior earlier this year. So Lee Chung-ho, the Republic of Korea, is our jury in charge. And once again, the man back in the chair with all the commands, the Chief Range Officer, is Vident Bhatt of India, a very experienced man in the world of shooting. So the take your positions command is now given. And the 5 minutes of preparation and sighting time will start in a few moments. So this is when the reality of the pressure all starts to kick in. So there is the start list. 3 athletes from the home nation of India. 3 athletes who are individual neutral athletes. We also have representation from Croatia and Slovakia. So the 5 minutes of preparation and sighting time has now started. My name is Rory McAllister. I'll be your commentator. Thank you very much for coming along today to day 3 of this Junior World Cup here in New Delhi. Well, the sun is shining outside. It's streaking in just ever so slightly. And even though the air conditioning is on, you can certainly feel the heat here in India. And you can feel the heat here in the finals hall before this 3 positions final. If you're joining us on YouTube, do like the channel. Do subscribe as well. That way you get all notifications of our finals and all our extra content. And do get involved in the live chat as well. If you're watching us on Facebook or on the Olympic channel, thank you very much for coming along. So just a chance now for the athletes to settle into the finals hall. It's completely different from the qualification hall, which is across the way here at the Dr. Carney shooting range. There's Jamie Stangroom, our announcer of Great Britain. And Jamie and I have worked together for 15 years, not just across shooting, other events as well, but Jamie's worked in international shooting since 2016, and I joined the ISSF in 2017. So speaking of the man himself, let's go down to Jamie Stangroom, who is on our field of play. Jamie, we've got 3 athletes again from the home nation of India. So hopes for India to get a medal, perhaps, in this 3 positions final. Of course, it's a long and grueling final. But we do have the Asian champion in the form of 18-year-old Anushka Thakur. She took that gold medal in the 3 positions women junior at the Asian Championships earlier this year.
Hi Rory, yes, welcome to the field of play. Yes, you mentioned Anushka Thakur, one of 3 Indian athletes in this final, and one of the 3 athletes that got the biggest cheer, I think it's fair to say, during the presentation that we just heard. And she actually arrived here in New Delhi at this World Cup fresh off the back becoming the newly crowned junior Asian champion in this event. She came here full of confidence, and on day 1 we had one of the non-Olympic events, the 50-meter rifle prone, and she did come top in that, winning the gold medal. So she must be full of confidence right now, the 18-year-old.
Yeah, it's looking good, I think, again, for India, just because of numbers, really, more than anything. We also have 3 individual neutral athletes as well, plus representation from Croatia and from Slovakia as well. So in terms of medals, yes, I mean, India have a 3 out of 8 chance, but it's a long and grueling final, this one, and it could go to a shoot-off, otherwise we'll have those 45 shots. But particularly under this heat as well that's just pouring into the finals hall. Normally the back wall would be closed. If it was a 10-metre event, we've had to have some air conditioning, but you can feel the heat, and I think for those who aren't as perhaps used to it, that could play a factor.
Absolutely, you know, in these the suits as well, of course, in the rifle discipline that the athletes are wearing, and like you said, the heat is pouring in, the humidity, it's rolling in as the shutters are open for the 50-metre event. Although, comparing it to yesterday, we were out for 2 shotgun finals, at least for us, not wearing the suits, I think it's quite pleasant in comparison.
Even though you do have a suit on, you look quite
I do,
good,
but
actually.
it's slightly different to an athlete suit.
Yeah, it's linen, is it?
It's not linen, it's seersucker cotton, I believe.
Oh, okay, whatever that is, whatever that is. Jamie Stangroom, our announcer, down on the field of play. We've got 1 minute to go before this final gets underway. Thank you very much to Jamie. So 3 series of 5 in the kneeling position, and then we have the 7-minute switch over into the prone position. That's lying down, and that's where the athletes get the most stability. That's where we're expecting the highest scores to come in during that prone 3 5-shot series. Then there is a 9-minute changeover after those 3 series of 5 into the standing position. But there's only 2 series of 5 in standing, and that's when it gets tricky. And you see shots going into the 8 ring, perhaps even down into the 7s, who knows, we'll see. But it's, for me, well, all of the 3P final is certainly interesting because of those 3 positions, but once it gets down to the standing, that's when it really does start to separate out. And if you've got an athlete who does have quite a big marginal lead, when it comes into standing, that really can change. And if this is the first time you're watching a 3 positions final, well, sit back and enjoy this one. Well, they tend to come in around 50 minutes, 5-0. And that's if everything just goes smoothly with no interruptions. So 3 minutes 20, I can see, has been loaded to the clock. That's the allocation for each 5-shot series in the kneeling position. This is where most rifle athletes will begin their career in a kneeling position. Try and get that mastered first, and then move down to prone and into standing. But they're just fascinating, these 3 positions final. As with all shooting events, a combination of balance, body and mind. But the 3 positions final really does test all of those just by the virtue of having that kneeling, prone and standing position. So just a reminder then of the world record that stands at 465.3. This is the 50-metre rifle, 3 positions, women junior, live for you here on day 3 at the ISSF Junior World Cup, New Delhi 2025. There is the start command. We're up and running. If you have just joined us, welcome along Facebook and across the Olympic channel. So 10.9 is the highest individual score. A decent 10.5 for Novotna in her opening shot. So I can just see the wind flags nearest to us and the ones in the distance. They were fluttering before the final. Now they're pretty much still. So any wind that was there is certainly very infrequent. But the athletes have to adjust for that. Trying to hit the centre of the target 50 metres away. 10.8 from Tokor, bringing that form in from winning that gold medal in the 50-metre prone, and is the current Asian champion. Anushka Tokor, still only 18 years old. What a lot of the athletes will be trying to achieve here is a total over 51, over 52 if they can manage it, and anything near 53, well, that would be very impressive, and you'd be expecting to certainly be leading the final. Sodakina already finished that last shot on 9.7, total of 49.3. Tokor, if she has a decent last shot, can get into that 51 zone and does just shy of 52. That is a great total, 51.9. That final shot in that 5-shot series of a 10.5. That's great work from the current Asian 3-position women junior champion. Here's how it stands then after that first series of 5. So 4 athletes have made it to 50 or above. 3 of the athletes have made it to 51 or above. A narrow gap between third and second. Very close indeed. A great start from Anna Maria Turk of Croatia. But it's Anushka Tokor of India, the current Asian champion, who is leading the way with a total of 51.9. A very impressive first 5-shot series in the kneeling position. So 2 series of 5 shots still to come in kneeling before we have the 7-minute changeover to the prone position.
For the next competition series, load, start.
Sodakina, great opening shot in this second series, 10.7, very high score. Consistent shooting as well from Tokor of India, opens that second series of 5 with a 10.5. And a 10.8 down the other end as well from Gakwad of India. The Indian athletes, most of them performing quite well so far. Still a very long way to go though in this 3 positions final. Saw Novotna there just with that finger just hovering around the trigger. The trigger's so delicate with these small bore rifles up to 8 kilos. And your muscle memory, your breath control, so important in a final such as this. And like that, your stability as well, just making sure you're exactly in the right position. You don't want to be getting too uncomfortable. And you can see just slight perspiration on the forehead as well of Kamila Novotna. It's very hot here in India. Just Gorokova, who is nearest from where I'm sitting at firing point H, the last to complete that second series of 5 shots. And let's see how it was looking. We had the current Asian champion, Tokor of India, leading. She had a first series of 51.9. That second series was 50.0. It's enough to keep her at the top on a total of 102.4. So the gap at the top, 0.8. There's also a 0.8 gap between third and second. So 4 of our athletes over 100. The other 4 under that 100 marker. There's still one series of 5 to go in the kneeling position.
For the next competition theory, load.
So another 3 minutes 20 loaded to the clock. And then after this 5-shot series, we'll have that 7-minute changeover. And 10.8 from Anna Maria Turk. And follows that 10.8 with a 10.1. There's impressive stuff from the 21-year-old from Croatia. So you just see now some shots coming in across the 9 ring. It's been a long day already with qualification added into the pressure of this final. But the conditions are the same for everyone, so it is a case of who handles it best. So Solakina again first to finish. That's the 3rd time in as many series that she's been first to come in with all 5 shots on a total of 149. So again, it's just Golokova to finish. Great final shot from Sandhu of India. At 10.5, likewise with Turk as well of Croatia. She'll certainly have helped her chances in the current standings going into the kneeling, the prone position, which is coming up, that 7-minute changeover. So still 30 seconds remains, but all athletes have finished, and the unload command is given from the Chief Range Officer. And there is the start command of the 7 minutes. Just seeing the Chief Range Officer hit the button, and Tokor continues to lead. The Asian champion still at the top, now increases her difference to 1.3 from 0.8. Anna Maria Turk of Croatia has got in there in 3rd position, just 0.2 behind Sandhu of India, who's currently in 2nd. So an Indian 1-2 at the moment, and Prachi Gakwad, who's also representing India, in 5th place as it stands at the moment. So Kamila Novotna, who's at the bottom of the scoreboard so far, in 8th place, total of 146.7, and is 0.7 behind 7th place. So still time to try and rescue that. Now this is where the athletes just have to get on with things and go through the motions of adjusting their sights. You can see that. Adjusting the butt plate as well at the back, because the prone position completely different from kneeling. So your body is in a different position, and therefore the sights have to be a bit further forward, because you lean forward, your face is further forward. You have to breathe differently as well in the prone position because of the angle that your body is now in. And you can see the athletes with the multi-tools as well, just making those adjustments. And there's no help or assistance here. You just have to rehearse this, you have to get it down. And the idea is to try and get on with it as quickly and as accurately as possible. You don't want to forget any parts. And then you can move on and take as many sighting shots as you can to try and get some practice in. And again, you want to balance that out, really. You don't want to perhaps take too many to use your energy then going into the actual competition itself. So with 5 minutes to go, we'll be back in a few moments' time during this changeover. And coming up, 3 series of 5 shots in the prone position. That'll take us to shot 30, where we go to the 9-minute changeover, which takes us then to standing.
As I mentioned earlier, New Delhi and say hello again. We are live on the Issf YouTube channel, Issf Facebook page. We are broadcasting all over the world, even on the Olympic channel as well. So do make lots of noise when you see big scores. Show your appreciation. Let the world hear you. Let the world hear Dr. Kani Singh shooting range here in New Delhi. This is Rory McAllister. He is our TV commentator, providing the vocals for our.
So look back at the highlights so far of this 3 positions final in the kneeling position. So with just 3 minutes to go, let's have a word with Jamie Stangroom, our announcer, who's down on the field of play. Well, it's pretty packed here inside the Dr. Kani shooting range. We've got a really decent crowd in today for day 3 of this competition. And most of the athletes now onto the prone mats to try and get their sighting shots in. So Jamie, a pretty dominant start from the Asian champion here. India performing quite well. Yes, they do have 3 athletes, but the Asian champion doing well so far.
Absolutely, yeah. Anushka Tolkar, we talked about her coming in to this final. She came in as the newly crowned Asian champion. She arrived on day 1 here of New Delhi, and we had the 50-meter rifle prone event, which she came top of. They don't have a final for that event, but she did top the list and therefore took away the gold medal, and she's really carrying that confidence through, certainly in the 3 series of kneeling anyway. But as we know, Rory, with this event, things can change, especially when we get through to those grueling standing shots.
Yes, that's right. I was saying that earlier today. Of course, with it being 50 metres, the back wall is open. The heat then does start to creep in. And whilst now we're moving to the prone position, where we would expect some of the highest scores, certainly from individual scores anyway, in this particular final. As you say, there is that standing start, that standing part of the final still to come, and that's, I think, what already, even before the prone, what I'm looking forward to most, that test.
Yeah, absolutely, and the standings are really interesting. We saw a lot of movement during those 3 series. In the kneeling, we had 3 different top scorers as well. And I think the biggest difference, maybe you can give me an exact number here because I can't get to my notes or see my screen from here, but I think it's about 1.1, is that right? The biggest difference anywhere in the standings?
It was at 0.8, and I think
0.8. Wow. Okay, so it's even lower than I thought. So
it was, but I think that's now changed to 1.3. 1.3 is the gap
1.3. Okay,
between
still,
second and
that
third.
is pretty low for this event. So it's anyone's final. Anyone's final to win. Anyone's final to lose. Still, as things stand.
Well, that's why we enjoy the 3 positions final so much. Jamie Stangroom, thank you very much. Jamie is our announcer for the remainder of this final. 45 seconds to go until we get underway with this fascinating stage of the final. This is the prone. This this is where the athletes will be looking to try and get those scores as high as possible to try and give themselves some sort of cushion going into the standing position, where of course there are no physical cushions. You've just got to stand, breathe, control and shoot. So there is that gap that we mentioned a few seconds ago, 1.3 at the top between second and first. India in that 1-2 position, and then Prachi Gakwad, who's in fifth at the moment. So 2.5 minutes is the allocation this time per series. The athletes expect to score higher individually. There's a high shot in the 10s from Turk of Croatia. She had a great final so far. See those high 10.6s as well. This is what we'd expect in the prone position. This is what I find fascinating about the three positions final. You come out of the kneeling, you get more stability, and it's your chance to just try and keep it consistent. Give you that best chance of going into the standing position, because what you do now, not only in the kneeling, but more so in the prone, what you do now really counts going forward into that standing position. Keeps things tense. Well, a cracking 10.8 from Godakova, still one shot to go, and follows that with a 10. So the scoreboard has moved around. It's still Tokor at the top though, leading this competition. The gap has gone from 1.3, it's now 2.6. The current Asian champion for three positions women junior is streaking ahead. If she can keep up this form and put another 1.3 difference in the next series, and then another 1.3, who knows what the score will be going into the standing position. But there was that 1.3 gap. It's now 2.6. It's doubled. A tie for third. And I think you'd have to say that Anna Maria Turk of Croatia has certainly deserved that second place so far. Again, you've got to keep it up. That's the test of three positions rifle shooting. It's a long and grueling process. One of the hardest tests, I think, in shooting, possibly even arguably the hardest. .8 from Sorokina. Great opening shot in this second series in the prone position. 10.7 from Turk. Well, pretty much scores in the tens right the way across the board. At this stage of a final, certainly if you're here as a neutral, you can just sit back and enjoy, really. Just soak it all up. That breath control, keeping that pulse rate down. It's absolutely crucial. And I certainly think the Indian athletes will be coping with the heat better than some of the others from Europe. I mean, Croatia has its heat, certainly in the summer. We've been hot there before doing European Championships, but Anna Maria Turk, currently in second position, has really deserved that. So there we go, the final shots all in the tens. Now just Golikova to complete her series and has 3 seconds to do so and just manages to get in. So here's how it looks. There's the gap that was 2.6. It's actually been reduced to 2.0. So still a fairly sizable gap, even for rifle shooting. A 1.4 gap between third and second. And those other gaps then speak for themselves. The closest is between fifth and fourth. Both the Anastasias almost locked together, just separated by that 0.2 gap. Well, one series of 5 shots now to come.
For the next competition series,
After these 5 shots, that'll take us to 30 shots. There's a 9-minute changeover then to the standing position. And it's my favourite bit of a 3P final. This is, I would say, the prone is my most fascinating, particularly this final series in the prone. Last chance to get some high scores in. Novotná does that, a 10.8 on their opening shot in this third of the prone series. Some shots in the 9s. That one from Sandu is a high 9, just outside the 10. And bear in mind, that 10 ring is only 10.4 millimeters wide, 50 meters away. Sounds impossible, doesn't it, really? So Novotná's completed fairly swift series at 10.4 to finish, a total of 300.1. See that sticker on the side of the rifle. Those are issued whenever your equipment, your pistol rifle, has passed through equipment control, and it's customary for the athletes to pretty much collect the stickers on their rifle or pistol. It's also a nice reminder, I suppose, of the competitions you've been to and the finals you've made. For some of these athletes, it's their first international final, so a real test, not only in the 3-position final, but a test of themselves. Now, Golikova hasn't left it quite as close this time. There was only, what was it, 5 or 4 seconds to go. It said 3 seconds on the clock I had in front of me, but Golikova has come in and completed, taken the longest time. But it doesn't matter, as long as you do it within the time, that's all that counts. So a 2.0 gap. Well, here we go. We are in for a very interesting standing position. Anushka Tokor of India is 4.7 in front of Mahit Sandhu. Anna Maria Turk has moved down to 4th place from 3rd. And Sodakina, who's an individual neutral athlete, has moved up to joint 2nd place. It's a tie for 2nd. Both Mandit Sandhu and Anastasia Sodakina, both on a total of 305.3. There's Pawan Singh in the middle of your picture, looking cool, calm and collected, a very experienced man in the world of shooting, and quite possibly one of the nicest men you're ever going to meet in your entire life. Alongside him, to his left, that was Peter Underhill, the ISSF sports director. And Peter was responsible for putting shooting together for the London 2012 Games, and then also again for Rio, and again for Tokyo and for Paris last summer. So you'll see the athletes this time grabbing the rifle stand. Now, that adjustment that's being made there, the top of the rifle stand, where you rest your rifle, that could be no higher than your own shoulder. Those are the rules. So you'll see the athletes doing that as we move through in this changeover time. Yeah, well, how long in the highlights? Normally about 2 minutes, right. 6.5 to go.
The organising committee of this junior world have kindly given me some gifts that I can give to you. So we have a ISSF Junior World Cup pin badge. We also have a very nice Indian flag pin badge. So I've got quite a few of these to give away. However, you've got to work for them, okay? These guys are here to win medals, you guys are here to win pin badges. I can see it in your eyes. But you've got to work for the glory of the pin badge. Okay, so I have some questions. Quite simple questions, shooting sport related, some Indian culture questions, and you get them right. And you're going to pick up simple as that. Multiple choices you choose to answer A, B, and C. Will anyone want to continue? I can do it. Come on. Hello, what's your name? Where are you from?
Well, my name is Garbage and I'm from Delhi.
Welcome. Are you ready? And when you came here today, so you woke up, you got like that is the first thought in your mind today, or want to win a pin match?
Yes, of course.
Excellent. Okay, here is your question. Let's try and make your dream play come true. In this event, the three positions women's event, who is the world number one? I'll give you some options. Is it A, Manu Barker, B, Jeanette Egg-Roustat, or C, Dua Lipa? Is it A, Manu Barker, B, Jeanette Egg-Roustat, why not C, Dua Lipa? Are you sure?
No, B.
So is B the final answer, Jeanette Egg-Roustat?
Yes.
It's the right answer. You get a pin badge. Would you like a world cup pin badge or an Indian flag pin badge? Which one is it? Both. If you got a question wrong and you're lucky to get one, you want to leave it one, okay? So World Cup or Indian flag? Well, fine. It's your choice. Very much. Here we go. Enjoy. Congratulations. And if we've got time for one more, at least one more, volunteer on this side of the
compatriot. You're having
If someone wants to volunteer really quickly, I can squeeze in one more question. I'm going to meet you down here, my friend, meet you down here. Coming to you. I will do this again in the men's division final, so don't worry, there will be all the chances and dreams to come true. Hello, I know you. Tell us your name and where you're from.
I am from India and my name is Rajveer Singh Rathore.
Okay, I'm going to ask this one very quickly. Can you tell me where the next Olympic Games will be held? Is it A, Paris, B, LA, or C? It's not really because it's got involved. Don't worry, more pin matches are available. Thank you.
So 1 minute to go before we get underway with the rest of this 3P final. And interesting developments because so far Anushka Tokor, who is the current Asian champion, has just absolutely romped this final. Has just been so in command, so in charge, and is looking good for India. And another gold medal. Now you can just see as well the athletes checking their footing.
30 seconds.
We're just watching Anushka there, the current Asian champion. See her just doing those little wobbles, those little adjustments. That's because athletes of her caliber, and all of them actually, all 8, know exactly where they should be in that standing position, how wide their stance should be for their own personal stability. Now the athletes have made the adjustments to their rifles, from the rifle stands this time, and those rifle stands, where it rests, as you can see on your screen, the rifle stand can be no higher than your own shoulder. So when you're watching like some of the Norwegians, for example, who are very tall, the rifle stands are a lot taller as well. So here we go, here's how it stands. 4.7 is the gap. There's a tie for second place. Both those athletes on 305.3, and both Sandhu and Sodakina trying to chase down the Asian champion, Tokor of India, who's on a total of 310. So we have 2 series of 5 in the standing position. This is grueling. There's a mixture of air conditioning and natural heat coming from outside. I'm just looking off camera down to the wind flags. There's certainly a light breeze that the athletes will have to compensate for. So during the standing position of a 3 positions final, that's when we start to see some shots in the 9s, maybe even into the 8s. Sometimes when the pressure really mounts, you get shots like 7.4, things like that, but a 10.8 in the standing position and a 10.6, that shows the quality of athletes we have in front of us. That 8.2 from Novotna just shows how tough it is. Packed crowd as well here in the Dr. Carney shooting range in New Delhi. See how worn that cheek plate is. doesn't matter how worn it is how well it works. So Mandit Sadhu settles into her shot. You can see her looking down, then looking back up at the target. And that looking away and looking back, that's to get a fresh view of the target itself. See that recoil as well. Mandu has managed at 9.5 there. .9 from Tokor, the Asian champion. In the standing position, that is world class. A remarkable shot. But in all honesty, the way Tokor's been shooting, I would have expected anything less. Well, that first series in the standing is now completed. It's taken us to 35 shots. The gap was 4.7. It's increased, though. It's shot up to 5.6. That 10.9 certainly helped from Anushka Tokor, the current Asian champion. And she is well in front. Meanwhile, certainly from 5th down to 8th, that scoreboard could change around. There's that gap of 2.2 between 5th and 4th. But I think we could see some movement in the lower part of the scoreboard. But make no mistake, that 10.9 in the standing position, just breathtaking. So, so good. Just a joy to watch.
So one more series now with 5 shots coming up.
For the next competition TV, load.
So another 4 minutes 10 on the clock. One more 5-shot series. And for some athletes to save their final. Novotka in 8th place and Gakwad in 7th. 8th and 7th will leave us after this 5-shot series, unless there is a shoot-off, in which case then the shoot-off will decide who stays and who goes. Cracking 10.6 shot from Novotna, just when she needed it in 8th place. Can she keep those scores in the mid to high 10s? If she does, well, she won't be leaving the final, that's for sure. Not right now, anyway. It's consistency, though, in a 3P final. Yes, you can afford the odd shot here or there that's a little wayward, but otherwise consistency is key. Then looking at your final total, dividing that by 45 and working out what your average shot was. Well, I have to say, so far in this standing position, I think all of these athletes, all 8 of them, have dealt with this incredibly well. Yes, we're seeing shots in the 9s, but still the shots in the 10s as well. And Novotna with another high 10 at 10.7, and Gakwad with a 10.5. Both of these two fighting to try and stay in this. Novotny finishes shot 40 with a 10.4. 399.2. So the first two eliminations are coming up. Two athletes still to shoot. Mahit Sandhu looking safe. She's halfway up the scoreboard. Gakwad, meanwhile, was fighting to stay in, moved up to 6th at one point, but we do have our first two eliminations. There's only a 0.1 difference between 8th and 7th. Incredible, really, when you think we've had 40 shots, and for two athletes to finish within 0.1 of each other. The first athlete to leave is Kamila Novotny of Slovakia, a total of 399.2. And then Prachi Gakwad, who's down on firing point A, is next to leave this final in 7th place. That's what happens in a three-peat. In these three positions finals, two athletes leave at once. Now it really is crunch time, because there's an elimination after every single shot now, until we decide gold and silver. And that'll also take us on the road to decide the bronze medal. So Anushka Thakur of India, the Asian champion, continues to lead. 111.4.
For the next competition shot, load.
Thakur has been so consistent. Her average over 40 shots is 10.28. So just under, averaging just under 10.3 throughout the entire final. Well, 10.8 from Kruglova. Certainly helped her chances in this final. Meanwhile, Anna Maria Turk of Croatia, who I think was as high as 3rd at one point, is going to leave this final in 6th place on a total of 408.9. Well, that's a remarkable achievement for Anna Maria Turk. She was 4th in the European Championship 10-metre final earlier this year. She also has 2 gold medals at Issf Grand Prix from Slovenia earlier this year. That was in the mixed team junior. But it's 6th place today for the athlete from Croatia. So 2 athletes from India remain. The remaining 3 are individual neutral athletes. So India's still in there.
For the next competition shot, load.
And even at this stage, you can't say the medal is guaranteed at the top for Thakur. She still has some shots left, but it's looking likely that it will be gold for India. There's a 5.6 gap at the top. The Asian champion has really stamped her authority on this final. So Kruglova versus Sandhu. Only 0.1 between them. Kruglova with a 10.6. It means Sandhu needs a 10.7. And a 9.6 means the athlete from India will be leaving this final. That was a tough ask and a great shot at this stage. Hit a 10.6 to try and survive in a final is great composure from Maria Kruglova. But Mahit Sandhu from India is the second Indian athlete to leave. A remarkable achievement though, particularly in front of this packed crowd here in the Dr. Khani shooting range on home soil as well. And Mahit Sandhu leaves this 3 positions final in 5th place. There was that 0.1 gap, but with Kruglova hitting a 10.6, Sandhu needing a 10.7, it was a tough ask. Well, there's a 0.5 gap now between 4th and 3rd, and Anushka Tokor at the top continues to dominate.
For the next competition shot, load, start.
So this next shot is to decide 4th. There is a 5.5 gap at the top between 1st and 2nd. Well, another cracking shot from Kruglova. I mean, talk about form when you need it. A 10.8 to stay in this final and guarantee a medal for her. Wow. So leaving in 4th place, Anastasia Godakova, 20 years old, will now leave in 4th. So we have our medalists, but who will take what colour? There was that gap of 5.5. It's reduced ever so slightly, but the gap is 4.7. You have to say now the Asian champion, Anushka Tokor, just has to hang on. However, Kruglova has been shooting so well over those last elimination battle shots. So the first medal about to be decided in this long and grueling 3 positions final.
Start.
Well, that's a 9.5 from Solikina, and Kruglova this time with a shot in the 9s, a 9.4. That's the bronze medal guaranteed. Meanwhile, Tokor has hit a 10.5. I know that wasn't on your screens, but I can give you that information. So Maria Kruglova, an individual neutral athlete, takes a bronze medal here at the ISSF Junior World Cup in New Delhi on day 3 of the finals. And her first time in a final as well. Not bad work to then go away with the bronze. So it's looking heavily stacked in Tokor's advantage. Her last shot was a 10.5, got a huge cheer from the gathered Indian crowd, and she's 5.7 in front of Solikina.
For the next competition shot, load, start.
Can the Asian champion do enough to get the gold? She's so far in front. Even a really disastrous shot here with a gap of 5.7. I just can't see a disastrous shot coming out. Well, an 8.5. Solikina almost then, well, admits whatever defeat there was, at 2.8 gap now. But of course that's because Thokor still has the shoots. It's another shot in the 8s, but it doesn't matter, it's an 8.9. It's Anushka Thokor's, I think that's her lowest shot of the final so far, but it doesn't matter. Just does show the pressure at the end to try and finish in style. But the Asian champion now claims the gold medal and finishes with a difference of 6.1. And a very impressive total of 461.0. Just a couple of, about 2.5 points. A little bit more than that, but it's a few points off the world record anyway. It's a decent score, 461, and India have another gold medal. And that's her second, because she took gold in the 50-metre prone before we started the Olympic events. And now we just wait for the confirmation of the medalists. We've got it on your screen.
The bronze medalist representing AIM, Maria Kruglova.
And Maria Kruglova announced as the bronze medalist. Just to get them on the right side. And Sorokina is confirmed as the silver medalist. Well, isn't that nice to see? Cheers, not only from the crowd, but also from fellow athletes. The Asian champion has added another 2 gold medals this week to her collection. There was that 50-metre prone gold medal a few days ago before we started our coverage on day 1 and the Olympic events. And now she's just taken the gold medal in the 50-metre 3 positions women's junior. What a performance. You've got to remember that 10.9 as well in that first series of standing. It just looked like it was Anushka Thokor's gold from pretty much the beginning of the final, and she managed to get there. Don't go anywhere, we've got some interviews for you, and of course another final coming up, 2 o'clock local time. So in just over 1 hour, we're back with the men's juniors 3 positions final. But that's how it finished. Bronze and silver awarded to Kruglova and Sorokina respectively, and then Anushka Thokor of India with her second gold medal of this New Delhi ISSF Junior World Cup. We're back in a few moments with some interviews with Jamie. We'll also get some highlights for you as well of the final. Just before I go for now, there's our schedule for the rest of the day. As I've just mentioned, the 50-metre rifle, 3 positions, men junior, still to come in about 60 minutes time, 1 hour from now. But don't go anywhere, interviews and more coverage coming up.
Anushka, after finishing 7th in Seoul, this year's just got better and better for you. Gold at the Asian Championships and now 2 golds here at the Junior World Cup, including 3 positions here today. How are you feeling?
I am feeling very proud of myself, very happy that I think I did give my best here. I did pretty good in the conditions.
And of course, making a final is a big achievement, but you must have felt some disappointment finishing in 7th in Seoul. What did you learn from that experience that you were able to take away and apply to these competitions since?
To be patient and just give your 100% and just always try your best. So I just try to do that now.
Yeah, and your best was too good for the rest almost. It was a 6.1 difference between you and second at the end there after 45 shots. You really led from shot 1. Were you feeling as calm as you looked?
Yeah, yes I was, yeah.
And what about being able to do this here at home in New Delhi with the support of the Indian team, the Indian fans? Did you enjoy that extra element?
Yes, it was a very good experience to get a gold medal in India, representing India. So I'm very proud of myself for that.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Anushka. And now you've got to go and collect that medal, okay? So enjoy the podium. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
competition manager for this Junior World Cup and joint secretary general of the NRAI. He is accompanied by Ms. Raja Faisal, chairperson of the pistol jury. Bronze medalist representing AIN, Maria Gruglova. Silver medalist representing AIN, Anastasia Sorokina. The gold medalist representing India, Anushka Toko. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please stand for the anthem of India. Congratulations once again to the medalists of the Women's Junior event. If the medal presenters would like to make their way into the podium for a group photograph, thank you very much. Okay, now we'll have photographs with the athletes only. Meanwhile, Mr. D.S. Chandel, jury member for rifle at this World Cup, will present our medal presenters with a special gift bag to acknowledge their contribution and hard work towards this Issf Junior World Cup New Delhi 2025. That's to Mr. Pawan Kumar Singh and Ms. Raja Faisal, presented by Mr. D.S. Chandel. Thank you very much.